Hey guys, it's Incredible Steve 350 back with you. I'm going to be doing like an introduction video or possibly about me. And just people that don't know me or haven't seen some of my art or other stuff I do on my channel. I'm going to be talking about struggles I've been through, things I've dealt with, things I like. So you guys kind of get a feel of who I am. And I'm going to talk about something that I've added to some of my videos and posts I've done. But when I was 3 years old, I was living with my mom and dad, my brother and sister, and I ended up getting lead poisoning and I about died from it. I had a seizure and was foaming from my mouth, and I was talking in full sentences before that, and then I quit talking completely, and the things I could say and the vocabulary I knew, I had to dumb it down because I couldn't pronounce those words, and that kind of messed me up too. And but I went from kindergarten all the way to the high school in speech class to relearn how to talk again. So I still kind of got like a off sounding speech. Some people think I have an accent sometimes, but it's not. And the house, actually, the landlord knew there was lead paint, and he didn't tell us. He didn't think it really made people that sick. And the whole house had the highest levels of lead content that it could have. We had a pet toad, and that had lead poisoning too. So the toad kind of would just sit in there and stare. It messed him up pretty bad too. My brother and sister were kind of a lot older than me at the time. They wasn't really affected by it as much as I was. I was supposed to be able to get like $75,000 when I turned 18 and stuff like that, but some stuff happened between my parents and stuff. So when they told them to tell me when I turned 18 I could go back to the people that were representing us at the time, and they said they would help me when I got older to get that. And my mom, she kept the notes and the things written by the neighbors and everything, the whole case and everything. We still had that. And so when I was 18, I walked in there and went to like show them the stuff. They didn't even want to look at it. I mean, it wasn't the same people that were there that helped me, but it was the same business or company of lawyers or attorneys. And before they even looked at it, they were just like, we can't help you, we can't do nothing for you. So I kind of left, and that kind of got me discouraged, because I mean, $75,000, that would have really helped me out with a lot of things. And so that kind of went sideways. And then when I was in school, I'm gonna talk about farther down, like high school and stuff, but I did ECOT for 3 years, and wanted to go back to regular school because I wanted to get it like active, be more stuff like sports or something. I couldn't play football by the time I came back. It was my senior year, but I got into wrestling. I did that for a little bit, and then I ran track, but I actually ended up getting taken out of school for last 5 months. I kept throwing up. I had multiple ulcers and enlarged lymph nodes, and I ate like a little bite of pizza, and I threw up for like 5 hours. And that eventually healed, got better. I did manage to graduate. I barely did it, messed up my GPA and everything, but I still managed to get my diploma. And then I started working a bunch of different jobs. I was kind of struggling with those too, and I did landscaping and hardscaping for a while. That was my favorite job, hardest job though, and I learned a lot from it. I learned a lot from the people I worked with, but I was throwing up a lot. The situation where I was living at the time wasn't very good, and so there was between throwing up almost every day at work and then starving some days. I was 210 and I dropped to 145. I want to say I got real skinny. I just couldn't do that job anymore. I just couldn't do it. Yeah, I liked it, but I just couldn't do it anymore. So I left and tried other stuff, and I kept on getting sick, throwing up. And when I was working during COVID, 2020, I think it was 2020. I'd either get sick while I was there working, or I'd get sick driving there to work, and I was just getting sick a lot. And I'd feel like real nauseous, stomach cramps, just felt terrible. And they called me up on the monitor like 5-6 times, and they were checking me for COVID. They checked me for COVID 6 to 5 times because I was getting sick and throwing up. So each time I had to stop what I was doing and head down there, and the nose swab thing, that was terrible, but they were making me do it there. And yeah, that was pretty bad, but I've been actually unable to really keep work or keep jobs because I get sick a lot, and I got a lot of stomach problems. And between that and damaged tailbone, my bottom lower back vertebrae are kind of bulging, herniated discs. And then I used to have really bad like scoliosis when I was younger too, so I always really had back pain. And then the lead poisoning, and then when 2020 and I think it was 2020 or 2021, I can't really remember when that came around. My mom seen a thing online that this medication called Singulair became black labeled for causing depression and suicides and a bunch of other anger issues and problems like that and stuff. And we found out I was taking that for 11 years, but I was real angry and mean and stuff when I was younger, and I was taking it for asthma. I had really bad asthma where they wouldn't even let me go out for recess because my asthma was so bad, and they put me on that Singulair, and I took that for like 11 some years, but how I acted and things I did and stuff like that, everybody just figured it was from the lead poisoning. And so we never really did anything about it, didn't know about it, and thought it was the lead poisoning, but that wasn't in my system no more, but I was still being affected. And we signed up for a class action lawsuit against them that's still ongoing. It would have been a lot more public, because from what I've been told, it's the only case of its kind. And first case of its kind. So we don't know how long that's going to take or how long that's going to be. But what I've said about like the lead paint and stuff, I wasn't really able to get justice for that, but I hope I get justice for the Singulair. But that's some of the stuff I struggle with and some of the stuff I've been through. I mean, it's affected me in ways that, like, you can tell people about it, but they don't really understand how that stuff can affect you. Like, I remember back when I was, I don't know how old I was, but I remember waking up one day and just like looking at my hands, feeling really weird, like I thought I was smaller, and all of a sudden I wake up one day and I'm a lot bigger and look older, taller, and stuff like that. Longest time I didn't know what that was. I tell people about that and they were thinking I don't know what they were thinking, but I tried telling people about it, but no one really listened to it. And it's crazy, but it wasn't until because I told my family and other people about it, but nobody really paid attention to it. And it wasn't until ChatGPT came out, when I was talking to that about what happened to me then. I just thought of it one day, and it was amnesia. I had amnesia, and yeah, I had no idea that. I knew it was something strange, but it was like I had a missing time. I had one section where I was smaller and younger, and then all of a sudden I was like older. Like a year or so went by that I didn't remember. Then when I was, I want to say first grade or kindergarten, I think it was first grade, I remember walking home to, we lived in an apartment complex, but I was walking home and kind of had like a road leading to our house, and I don't know if it was a seizure or what it was. I've told people about it, but I was just walking like the side of the road, no sidewalk, just side of the road. All of a sudden I just collapse, I fall over, I hit the ground, I'm laying sideways, I couldn't move my body, I couldn't move nothing. All I could do was move my eyes like that and look around, and I don't know what that was. I've tried telling people about it for years. No one really gives me answers. No one really tells me anything. They say, yeah, that could be from the lead, but it's kind of all went under the radar, and no one's really, I guess, I don't know. I don't really know what to say about that. I guess I tell people now I had a seizure because I really don't know what that was. But besides those things, I've noticed there's been other stuff, and obviously lead poisoning can affect your IQ and stuff like that. And I probably am, if there was two different separate paths, where one path where I was young and not affected by lead poisoning, I could probably have been more successful, probably wouldn't have as many health issues, probably most definitely would be smarter. And then there's the path I'm on now, which I mean, you can't miss or what you didn't have, but it's still upsetting to know you had that, something that you could have had taken from you. But yeah, that's my struggles. I'm going to talk about some stuff I like now. Like you guys been seeing me painting, using acrylic paint. I've tried water painting. I'm not super great at it. The paint I have been using, it's my own mixture of paint. I take they're like I'll show you guys right now. They're like 58 cents at Walmart, and I mix it with cornstarch and Elmer's glue, and I think I add a little bit of water to it. I'm not really, I have to look it up. I haven't made it in a while, but the paint I have been using is what that's from. But it lets me take a small amount of paint like that, and I can make a big thing of it, or stuff like this. I can make a lot more of it, and it lasts longer. I know it's cheap, 58 cents, but I don't currently work, and I'm applying for Social Security, so I don't have no income right now, so 58 cents is cheap to everybody, but it's not really cheap to me right now. And that's the stuff I like doing. I like doing different paintings. I try different styles and art. I watch a lot of David Cho and just other people I see on shorts when I'm scrolling through my phone. Other things I like to do probably is play video games and stuff. I like a lot of fantasy, Skyrim. I never played Elden Rings. I'd like to. I thought that game looked pretty cool. Like Halo. Halo 2 is one of my favorite games. Thanks to some other stuff. I like spending time with my family, family and friends, and I like going to like trails and preserves and stuff and walking around. I think that's I enjoy that a lot. I like seeing the scenery, and they do say seeing the trees and green and everything like that. The colors actually increase your mood. But that's the things I like doing and enjoy doing. I'm trying to think of some other stuff I can say about myself. Yep, I ran out of material. I don't write nothing down. I just try to free ball and go with the flow. And video sounds good, I use it, and if the video doesn't, I try to delete it, and then I go through the process of telling everything again, repeating it, and trying it. But besides video games, painting, joining family and friends, that's basically me. That's basically that's basically me. But I also like watching anime and stuff, and some of my favorite anime is like Berserk. That's a kind of a hardcore one, but I really enjoyed that one. Jujutsu Kaisen was good. Demon Slayer's good. I watched some old stuff, like mech stuff, like I watched Blue Gender, Gundam Orphans. I thought that was really cool. Dragon Ball Z's a favorite. One Punch Man was awesome. But my probably my favorite genre is isekai, where they get transported to another world, or summoned, or something like that. I think those are pretty neat, and it's actually inspired me to try to write a story where I created a world and a villain and a character that would get isekai to the world, kind of like John Carter, where he finds this old place when he was getting chased by Native Americans or Indians, and he goes in there, and there was this weird bald guy with like a talisman or an amulet, and he places this in this pedestal type object, and then all of a sudden he wakes up, he's on Mars, and he can jump real high, and he got super strength and agility and stuff. That type of concept, that's the type of thing that inspired me to do stuff like that. and I'll tell you guys a little bit about this too. These 3 circles right here, these were going to be like floating islands that dwarves, elves, and humans would hold council, kind of like a court where they would keep a watch over the land, make sure everything was fairly running smooth. This continent was called Oratogara, and I was going to have like the dwarfs up in the mountains, and then I was going to have the elves kind of over here, and a dwarven city could be there too. And then this was kind of like the tropical area. I was going to have like elves, a mixture of elves and humans. And then these spots were going to be the main human cities, and down here is going to be kind of like swamp lands and farmlands up in there. I never really finished it. I drawed it. I kind of stopped messing with it altogether. But it was something cool I was working on. But I think that's about to do it. But that's kind of a about me introduction video. It's kind of long, but it'll kind of explain some of the struggles I've been through, some of the things I enjoy, some of the things I do. So maybe I can connect with you guys more on a human level. But I'll catch you guys next time. It's Incredible Steve 350. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.